Good morning, gang. It's David Gupple, Thinker Farmer here. It's a cool March morning, and I wanted to just give a little story and snippet. We're at the North Place farm again. Excuse me, I got hiccups this morning for some reason. And wanted to talk a little bit about what we're doing grazing-wise here and to share a little story, hopefully give somebody a positive story on what otherwise would normally be a bummer of a situation. So yesterday morning, I got myself stuck. It was the ground, it frosted, and it was cold all night, and we had gotten some rain or precipitation over the weekend. And Monday morning, it was about 26, 27 degrees, but it'd been below 30 degrees all night. I fed it one of the farms, and it was frozen there. It was easy enough to go ahead and roll out a couple bales. And I came over to the North Place where we don't have a tractor and thought, well, it's probably hard enough here. So I grabbed a bale and went on in through the gate. And as soon as I started climbing the hill, it bottomed out. The truck just bottomed out in the mud, and I was stuck. And all the cows came, and I didn't have anywhere to go. I took the bale off. I was still stuck, and I ended up having to leave the truck there, and was able to get the tractor. Fortunately, a good neighbor picked me up and took me back. I got the tractor, got the truck pulled out, and but it wasted a lot of time, and I was pretty annoyed to start the week that way, and so I said, well, if I've already got the tractor here, I wasn't going to, but I might as well go ahead and feed out some bales of hay here, maximize what I've got while I'm here. And so I fed them 2 bales, the one bale that I'd brought in with the truck, and then another bale. And I might as well mention while I'm on the topic that the way I'm grazing this paddock, it's got a lot of trees, really on both sides, kind of in the draws or valleys on both sides. And then most of the paddock is just a really long ridge, and so there's not really an easy way to cross fence it, because you've got to go in amongst a whole bunch of cedar trees. And so it's just a little bit tough. So at first I thought, well, I can either just split it once, which ideally I'd split it more, or I said, we had a lot of thatch, and you can kind of see the graze line here, and there's just a ton of thatch that ideally we might have brush hogged, but didn't have the time. And so I said, well, if I go ahead and fence it long ways, I won't get the greatest animal performance on it, but it's March anyway. It's not the greatest stockpile. I might as well just trample it and get ready for spring. And so that's kind of what we did. And we didn't go too deep, but we went ahead. I put up a couple fences long ways, and they've just trampled it in. They grazed it, and then anyway, fed hay. Like I said yesterday, fed 2 bales, and then today's Tuesday, so there was a line right here. You can kind of see where that white-faced calf is. That's where the line was that I rolled up this morning, and then they're eating on the bale, the extra bale I'd put out for them. And anyway, I'm really curious to see what this paddock does come spring. Hopefully with the thatch kind of trampled in some, we'll get a pretty good grass stand coming up. And wanted to show one other little thing. But anyway, what I'm getting to, or trying to point out here, is that you don't let the downsides in life, and I'm guilty of it. I hate making mistakes, but don't let your mistakes define everything you do. Look for the silver linings in what you do. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Make a molehill a stepping stone to something better. So this hillside here, you can see down there's a lot of broom sedge. And of course you got a ton of cedar trees, so they're putting acid acid out. And really, this this farm is definitely not one of our better fertility farms. So it could use, I'm sure, it certainly can use TLC. We'll put it that way. But for winter, I will say this, windbreak wise, man, all the cedar trees, and really for the month of March, with things being muddy anyway, it makes a warm place, and kind of an easy place to finish wintering the cows on. So yesterday when I was finishing with one of the bales, I went ahead and dropped the core over in this cove here, and there was a lot of broom sedge on it. And now you come look at it, there's not, yeah, there's a few sprigs coming out, but most of it's either trampled or eaten into the ground. And the cows even put some cow pies down, which I'll admit, gang, most of the ones here, they're stacking up a little bit. So I'm probably gonna bring the tractor over sooner rather than later, and get them a few more bales, just to make sure they're getting what they need grocery wise. This cow pie is a little better. Of course, it's frozen right now, but make sure y'all can see it. That one's a little better. Looks pretty good, but it's frozen. Anyway, and so they grazed it down here, and trampled the broom sedge, put some fertility down, and we'll see what it does next spring. So rather than getting flustered and saying, man, I got the truck stuck, use the tractor while you got it there, put some hay down in some places you normally wouldn't get into, and see what happens. Anyway, gang, I want to make this a short video. I want to get to clipping thorn trees. This is the last chore stop for the day. So blessings for the journey, gang, and keep it real.